Yeah, they put their foot on our necks, but we let them, so what you expect? When the last time you picked up a book? When the last time you wrote your own check? Yeah, we all up on IG and Netflix, and the devil, he got you on chill. He's scrolling and trolling your life, you can't see he destroying, cause he got you still. It's your vision that he wanna steal, and your mission that he wanna kill. No condemning, I'm keeping it real. It's conviction I want you to feel. And I'm praying today that we wake up, and the mess that we made we can make up. It's because of a skin that they hate us, don't know what it's gonna take to shake us. Listen. And I'm not pacing, I'm just patient. They thought that I was moving slow, they didn't know I was waiting. Yeah, it's my season, it's my reason. I talk with God every day, I'm not into people pleasing. And forever I'm for God, and I just want you to know without him, life is hard. So get your heart right, get your house in order.
Hi, I'm Charcy Curtis. Some of you out of Fayetteville, North Carolina may know me as Sister Diva. This is the IM4GOD Movement podcast, where we allow people to tell their testimonies for all walks of life. Today I have my family member, Nikki. She's going to tell people about what she's been through, and just, the whole thing is to basically let people know if God did it for us, he'll do it for you. So Nikki, can you please introduce yourself and let them know what you got going on and who you are, so they can feel like they know you a little better?
Okay. What's up, guys? It's Nikki, a.k.a. Torn Vixen on IG, TORNVIXEN. Shh, that's me on IG. Also, it's Tinika McNeill Vega on Facebook. I'm your comedian sometimes. I'm your mother of 4, 1 deceased, 3 living. I have a son with autism. So anybody needs some help with dealing with a child with autism, I'm your girl to talk to. Been dealing with it since he was 3 years old. And it's been a journey. But it's been a life lesson. Also, I'm a business owner. I stopped because of the pandemic, of course. But clean houses. So if anybody's house is a little dirty and they're trying to get it ready for the holidays, you can hit me up too, because I'm about to start going back cleaning these houses.
Okay. And you was that parent that was in denial at first, right?
Yes, I was. I was in denial real bad. My son was around 2 years old, and he was at a daycare. And I, at the time I worked there, because that's my major. I work with kids. That's all I knew was children. That's why I guess I had so many of my own. But I was there, and I noticed my son. We were having a party at the daycare, and he's standoff. And I'm like, okay, this is a birthday party. It is lit. It's like cupcakes and balloons, and it's just fun. And he's in a corner, and he's holding a toy in his hand, which is a car. And I was like, this ain't right. Something ain't right with my child. Like, I noticed after his shots, he changed. And so I really knew something was different when his way of talking changed, where it was like, mommy, and it's like ma, or he won't talking at all half the time. So I was like, what is wrong? And the doctors here kept telling me, here in Fayetteville, kept telling me he was developmentally delayed. You're a mother just like I'm a mother. A mother knows their child. Right. And I felt like developmental delay was not the case. So I ended up taking him to get a referral, take him to Chapel Hill, Cary, to see a doctor named Dr. Jaffe. This is the best gynecologist, this is the best neurologist in the world. And he told me straight up, the man said, your son has autism. And I was like, what? No, I didn't know what autism was. That wasn't around, to me, it wasn't around then when I was born, so I don't know what it was. And he said, remember the movie Rain Man? And I was like, Ray? And he was like, yes. He was like, your son is autistic like Rain Man. And I was like, oh my God, thinking to myself like, oh my God, this is horrible or whatever. And I kept saying, what did I do? And he was like, nothing. You didn't do nothing. He was like, and he said, God made my child special. He said it to me. He was like, you got to get out of denial, because there's no cure for this. We just got to learn to deal with it, and that's all we can do. So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Get out of denial. If somebody come to you and tell you, hey, this is what's going on with your child, don't always get defensive. Listen, because I'm telling you, if I would have listened a long time ago, when I was like, something ain't right, and they was trying to hint around to being on the spectrum, and I was like, nah, I ain't nothing wrong with my child. I would have went and got him checked out before he even turned 3, because you can get him checked out. Don't let nobody tell you that they can't. You can get your child checked.
Okay, thank you for that. We're going to jump into these questions.
All right.
So the first question is, how was it like for you growing up as a child?
Honestly, what was it like me growing up as a child? Visually, and I'm saying visually, it was like Beverly Hills. But behind the scenes, it was like an episode of Power. And when I say that, I had a single mother, of course. My mom was raising me and my older sister, which she's 5 years older than me. And she was doing the best that she can do. And I guess sometimes when you're a single mom, you get lonely. So I guess her, in some situations, she always went and dealt with the wrong guy. And her dealing with the wrong guy, it was a lot of things that took place in my childhood that no mother should ever experience. And what I say this is, me and my sister first, because like I said, she's older than me. She's 10 years old, and she was molested. And we used to be taught not to talk about these things because, you know, it's wrong. It's wrong. Yes, it's wrong for a child to be molested, but it's wrong for it to be pushed up under the rug as it never happened.
Right.
So when my sister told my cousin, which is an older cousin, and she confided to the older cousin, because my sister knew it was wrong. She said, "Hey, I was touched and everything." And my cousin went and told my mother, because my cousin was kind of the adult. Went and told my mother, and my mother reacted in a way of, "Oh, you're just trying to break up the home, and you're jealous." And I'm like, she's 10 years old. What is she jealous of? This is a child. So we think about that now. It's like, wow, what would be steps that could have took place to make that better, because it affected me when I was a child, because I also was molested too at 5. No penetration or anything like that. People think when you say molestation, there's other ways to molest a child. You can molest a child touching. You can have them do things to you. It's other ways. It's not always touching, like physical, involvement, like a grown person, 2 grown people. But I didn't tell my mom because I didn't know. I'm 5. All I know is dolls. Cabbage Patches was my thing. Right. So he would always buy me a Cabbage Patch or give me a pound puppy and say, don't tell. And then it gets to the point where it was, oh, if you do tell, I'm going to hurt your sister and I'm going to hurt your mom. So, of course, I'm not saying anything. Right. So I kept it a secret.
So you was out of fear. You didn't say anything.
I didn't say nothing
about a reaction of your mother for when your sister told.
Yep.
That's what made you not.
It made me just keep my mouth closed when she said, some things don't talk about stuff. Just sweep it under the rug. I swept it under the rug. But it affected me for years on with trust issues with men.
Okay. What is that one thing that you regret and why? I
regret not taking my education serious. Okay. I mean, I graduated. I have college degrees, 2 of them actually. I have certificates for different things, but I regret not taking it serious. Like dropping out of hair school. Yes, I went to Paul Mitchell. I would have been class of 99, but I dropped out. I was always just all about trying to, make money. Money was on my mind. But my education would have helped me get that money if I would have stayed myself in school and finished it. So I regret just not finishing important things that I know would have me a rich person one day. So I regret that.
We're not rich, but, for us, like say, wealthy,
happy.
Yeah, happy, because money is a tool.
It's a tool.
Yeah, and it's rich people that can tell you that they still not happy.
Yeah, they still not happy.
So,
So you're right.
Yeah. Okay. What was that thing that you turned into? How did you turn your pain into power?
I turned my pain. The one thing that made me, that affected me, that made me turn something very bad into something very good is when I was in a relationship with a soldier. That was a popular thing. Us girls always wanted a soldier to get them out of a bad situation. And a lot of times, us women, we date soldiers to, especially if we're going through some stuff at home. So this was my way out. My sister did it. She married a soldier to get out the house. I was geared to do it too. So I thought I had me a good guy. And I was, working, and we was living together and everything. And I guess, him being a young man, the commitment thing was an issue. But some couples don't have a way of communicating. So communicating sucked between me and him. And I came home from work one day. This was when I was 20, 21. I came home from work, working with children. Came from work, and all my stuff was gone in my apartment. I'm talking about my clothes, even my pit bull. Her name was Jewel. Everything was gone. This man took and ran off and left me doggone homeless. So I was like, oh my God, like, I'm gonna have to start over. And I did. I had to start over. I had to stay with my mom in her condo, in a 1-bedroom condo. Until I got on my feet. I was embarrassed because I was like, oh my God, this dude took all my stuff. In the state of North Carolina, even though we was together like 4 years, you can't go after them in court and all this other stuff because it's not a common law state. So I had to start over. I had to start from scratch. I didn't have no clothes put on my back. I had nothing. So I had to start over. So this is where I say this. Yes, God puts you in situations, and you should never question God.
Right.
So I feel like if this didn't happen, the good guy that I met after that, I would never met him.
Right.
And I would have never had my children.
Right.
So yes, I was put in a bad situation, but I was brought out of it with believing in God still. Okay. I never gave up. I still kept my faith and was like, I'm going to get out of this dark space.
Okay, if you could change one thing in your life, what would it be and why?
If I could change one thing in my life, it would be my eating habits. It would be the way I eat. I need to slow down on the bread and all the harsh things in my body. That'll be what it is, eating.
I know what you were saying to me, something about you introduced your husband to something. Oh,
yes. If I could change something else, I would never have introduced my children's father into a lifestyle. And the lifestyle I'm talking about is swinging. Yes, I was introduced to the lifestyle young, before I even had any kids. Okay. And it was just like the movie Pandora's Box. I don't know how many people saw this movie ever in their life, but it's like a good movie, and it has a lot of parts to it. That movie was so intriguing to me. Somebody was like, there's a real place in the world that does this, or people doing that. And I'm like, for real? Like, I'm so fascinated. So yes, I got turned on to that lifestyle, and I turned him on to the lifestyle. And then when I wanted to be married and not deal with the lifestyle, it was an issue. Okay. It was to the point where this man was even pretending to be me. Oh. So, like I said, don't invite nobody in your home in your marriage, because I'm telling you, it's not worth it. The stuff that I went through with this is not worth it.
So if you could change, that'd be one thing you would change?
That'd be one thing I'd definitely change. I would never have even went there. Okay. Like my mom used to say, what look good to you ain't good for you. And that was definitely not good for me.
Okay. What was that time like when you realized God was real without a shadow of a doubt?
Time I realized God was real without a doubt, it was when I got in a motorcycle accident in 2017. I was questioning. I was starting to lose my faith. I ain't gonna lie, I was starting to lose my faith. Okay. I was up and down, like with my job and everything. Had a good job. It wasn't a job for me. And I kept asking God, like, Lord, please. They say be careful what you ask. So I kept saying, Lord, please get me out of this place. I need to find me something else. I need to get out of here. They stressing me out. I was losing sleep, barely seeing my kids. That's how much I was working. And so one day, I got on a motorcycle. Yes, I love motorcycles. I got on a motorcycle. It was my kid's father's motorcycle. And I was selling it to a dealer. And it was noontime. And this was February 11, 2017, around noon. I was traveling down Cliffdale in front of Sonic's. And here comes a drunk driver. He was a drunk driver. He was in the Army. He was in a red Dodge Challenger. He hit my back tire, speeding. He was speeding and hit my back tire. It was too late for him to brake. When he realized it was me, this man knocked me into oncoming traffic. When I say knock me into the cars coming this way, all I know, I landed in that dealership, which is, I think is a Hyundai dealership on Cliffdale. I woke up, I was in Chapel Hill. I was messed up. I had road burns and everything. I was in pain when I did wake up. And when I woke up, my mom said I was in like a medicated coma, like where it was just medicine. They was giving me medicine, and my mom was like, take her off of it. She's gonna have to wake up. She's gonna have to suffer. This is the only way she's gonna get out of here. So they took me off the medicine. I was mad that, with my mom, like, why you want me to feel this pain? But if she didn't, I would never probably saw my kids. Like, I would still probably be in a coma or even gone off this earth. So that's when I realized God was real, because all I did was I had a broken, broken leg and some broken bones and some road burns. And I had like fragments in my head where they had to get it out, but from the helmet. But other than that, I was good, just sore. So I was like, God is real, because if I would have stopped believing in him, I'd probably be 6 feet under, and you would not be here having a interview with me.
If God was to ask you, did you find joy in this life he gave you, what would you say?
I would tell God, yes, I did find joy. Them 3 babies I got, and a nephew, I found joy in them kids.
And if he was to ask you, did you bring joy in someone's life, what would you say?
I'll tell God, he know he been watching me. When people been sad, I'm always that one that try to joke and make them happy. So I've been a pure clown. So he knows I'll be trying to bring people joy. I'll be trying to help people, do what I can for people.
Okay. And for that moment that someone told you no, but you turned that no into yes, what was that like?
Oh, yes. The day that somebody told me that I couldn't get a house or, get better for my kids, it was when I was staying in these condos, and the realtor at the time, he was a con artist. He was doing underhanded stuff, and my kid's father was in between jobs, of course, and I was working, 2 jobs and stuff, and trying to, take care of kids, and I was pregnant. So I was like, oh, I got to do better, because we were cramped up in the condo. So I was like, I'm going to try to get us a house. So I went to him because he had a rent to own. And he was like, no. He was like, let me tell you right now, your credit is slow. His is bad, and I'm all you got. So you just gonna have to just find something else for rent. You're not gonna be able to get no house or nothing with your credit being slow and him not between jobs and all this other stuff. So I felt discouraged. But then something hit me, was like, girl, you got kids. You need to do whatever it take. What would your mama do? Do whatever it take to do what's right for these kids. Right. So I went to through a private realtor. I Googled private realtors. And I saw this piece of heaven. It was in Scottsville at Trey Burns. And I'm going to tell you, I was 25 years old at that time. Not bragging, just saying, 25. And I went and talked to that owner. And I had money saved up. I was saving up money. One thing about me, I save $1. So I had some money saved up. Gave her some money down. She ran my credit and everything. And I was able to get this house, a nice house, for me and my kids. And we stayed there up to the big hurricane had hit and messed up, and it was just too much to be trying to fix this and fix that. So we ended up selling it. But I had me a nice house.
Okay. And what does for God mean to you on a personal level?
Don't give up. For God means don't give up. Whatever you're going through in life, keep focused. Keep believing in God. Try to change whatever it is. Don't let nobody discourage you. Stop your bag or whatever you're trying to do with your life. Stop listening to people, because not everybody's here for you. They are against you. Don't let everybody pray for you either. I learned that. Some people pray for your downfall. That's what that means to me. You need to keep believing in yourself and listen to yourself, and you're going to be all right. That's what it means to me.
Okay. Well, that's almost, the next question was going to be, if you had a chance to tell the world something different, positive, What would it be? I mean, you just sit there. I mean, is it something
Keep
you
pushing,
like?
guys. I'm gonna add that. Keep pushing.
Well, I thank you for coming. We would definitely have to get you back, especially whenever you get that book on.
Yes, sexology.
Yes, and what would you tell that person out there? Because I know you have pain days that you be feeling in pain, and you said push through it or whatever. What would you say to that person that's on pain medicine or whatever and be pushing?
Tell them don't give up. I would tell them that pain medicine is not always the way. There's other natural alternatives or whatever. You just gotta get up and move around. Don't let whatever you're going through, like if you have MS or anything like that, just don't let it affect your body. You gotta get up and move around, because that's the only way you're gonna be able to live through this. I mean, I know there's gonna be days you're gonna be hurting and everything, but just don't give up. Just don't give up. Try to stay strong.
Because I know people look at you all the time and say, "You ain't nothing wrong with you."
And a lot of people try to tell me to sit down. The reason why I move a lot and I move around so much is so I won't be in pain.
Okay.
That's why I stay on the go.
Okay.
That is the only reason why I stay on the go.
Okay.
So now y'all know my secret.
Well, I thank you so much for fitting us in your schedule. And I thank y'all for tuning in. And I want to tell you, I love you. God loves you more. And you just never know who we're going to have on here. But it's all to encourage you, to let you know that you're not alone. And it's all walks of life of people that has their own testimony to ensure you that God is for everybody. God loves everybody. You just have to get your own relationship with him and get in the word and get to know him for yourself. Until next time, love you. And God loves you more. Can't wait to see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.